So if I could name session 2, it would be, okay, well, how does the stock market work? And we answered that question. So session 2, I was ready. And this session is covering the basics to the stock market. The first session was, let me tell you all the reasons why I don't want to invest, Ashley, and I'm gonna tell you all the reasons why you can, and I'm gonna provide the solutions to help you do it. And so actually, they ended up writing out their whys and their goals and turning them in. And I realized we needed some work, and that the why wasn't full. So a lot of them thought they wanted to learn how to build wealth. So the reasoning for building wealth is they just wanted to learn, they wanted to pass down money for their families, but they didn't connect the dot as to why we're here and why building wealth is important in this program. So we kind of merged the two. And but what I did was their responses to their whys and their goals, I showed them examples of their own examples on the screen. So example 1 is someone within the class, it was his why. And then example 2 was somebody else's why. And they had to dissect it to say which was right, which was wrong, and how we can make it better. So as opposed to giving them my examples, I let them read their work. And so they were able to like, okay, this why is really positive and this why isn't as positive, and I think it could be better this way. So they were critiquing their own work and ultimately allowing me to show them what they did and how they can make it better without me telling them exactly how to do it. Then I put up their goals. And so what were their savings goals? What were their investing goals? But it was their actual goals. Some of them wrote them right. Some of them didn't write them right. Some of them were confused. And so I had to provide a lot of clarity around how this needs to be done. But as opposed to me telling you how, you told me how it could be better. And so we started session 2, wrapping up session 1 and bringing it all full circle and helping them understand, okay, this is why we are here, this is why you want to build wealth, and these are the goals you want to have in order to live the life you want to live. So then we got to the stock market, and we covered all the basics to the stock market. So how does the stock market work? What is a stock price? How do you find the stock price? How do you read a stock chart? How do you understand the Dow Jones? What's the S&P? What's the New York Stock Exchange? You know, when I see all those numbers moving in the red and the green, it's like, okay, well, what is it? And so we covered the basics surrounding so that they understood, okay, these are the things that drive a stock price up and down. This is how you find a stock on the stock market. This is how you determine if the stock is publicly traded or if it's a privately held company. And so we had a lot of examples where they were learning how to maneuver through the stock market, how to understand and read different things. But I think the most dynamic piece to session 2 was, okay, great. Now we know how the stock market works, right? But how do I know what to buy? And so I created the program based upon all the questions people always ask me. So whether it was in person or whether it was on Instagram, whatever. And so people always ask me, okay, how do I start? What do I buy? There's so many things to buy. Oh, let me listen to the stock guru. And it's like, no, don't overcomplicate it, because that's what's going to cause you to not even take action. And so we had this exercise where I broke them into groups, and there were charts around the walls. And every chart had a question. So one of the questions was like, what do you eat? What do you drink? What do you wear? Where do you always shop? What do you do for entertainment? And so they had to list out everything that they did that answered the question. So for instance, what do you eat? I eat cereal. For me, I like Kick cereal, so I eat Kick cereal. What do you do for entertainment? We go to the movies, we drink alcohol. What beverages do you drink? I drink Pepsi, I drink Deer Park. So all these questions that basically allow them to see, just their everyday life and what they do. But the point of me doing that was to show you, if that's what you do and you give your time and energy to the company that owns the product or service that you're using, let's go see if it's publicly traded. Because chances are, if you use it a lot of people use it a lot. They are billion-dollar businesses because you drink their drink all the time. because you do this all the time. And so the easiest way for us to figure out what to invest in is not to do all this crazy research on this random company that someone told you to do research on. Start with what you know. Essentially, when you're investing in a stock, you're buying a piece of a company. So just as much as if your friend was to say, hey, can you invest in my company? You want to know what the company does, what they're doing, where they're going, all the details around it. You do the same thing with the stock. And so don't invest in anything if you don't know what they do. And it's easier to research a company if you already know what they do. So for instance, what kind of phone do you have? Who's your cell phone provider? Chances are, if you love Apple, you're not about to go get a Samsung. Apple is $1 trillion business. Why? Because we still stand in line to get the Apple iPhone. We use Apple products. Not saying that Apple is a good company or not a good company to invest in, but just think about what you do every day. And then the last question I asked them once they filled it out for what they did, what does the Black community do? What is the Black community drinking? What is the Black community doing for entertainment? Where's the Black community shopping? Because again, chances are, if we're all using it, giving it our time, energy, and money, they're probably $1 million, $1 billion business because of our consumption. And so that allowed them to open their mind to see, okay, these are the lists of the companies. Let's see what the parent company is. So who owns this company? So for instance, if you're always on Instagram, Instagram isn't the stock, Facebook is, because Facebook is the parent company. And so having them take what they told me they spend their time, money, and energy on, going to do the research to see if it's publicly traded, then let's go get the stock price. Let's go see what stock exchange is traded on. Let's see what the 52-week high, 52-week low is. Let's see if they're making money. So it created the foundation for them figuring out where to start. So we gave you the basics on how the market works so that when you see this stock chart, you know how to read it. But now I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. Let's come up with our own thoughts, our own reasons as to why we want to invest. And the easiest way to start is to literally just start with what you know. And so that's kind of how our class ended. And it was a really great experience. And so I think it opened their eyes to show them a lot of the companies we know and use every single day are publicly traded. And again, chances are if you're giving them their money and they're $1 billion business, why not just invest in a piece of the business by investing in stock and owning a piece of that company?